The Mitsubishi Triton has always prided itself on dependability, reliability, and most importantly, affordability. But with the recent price increase for this generation, it's hard to imagine where it actually sits amongst its competition, because it's no longer with the affordable Utes and it's edging awfully close to the top contenders. But don't worry, Mitsubishi's responded with this Mitsubishi Triton GSR Special Edition that sits just below the GSR, saving you a couple of $100s. But is that enough? Is that enough for this to stay competitive? Or has it completely lost its edge? Well, we are going to find that out in this review. My name is Salvatore, this is the Motor Marvel. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss another time we make an upload like this. So, what do you get in this 2025 Mitsubishi Triton GSR Special Edition? Well, for starters, guys, it's priced in at $63,140 before on-road costs, pricing it just below the top spec GSR by a couple of $100. You still get the same 2.4 litre twin turbo 4-cylinder diesel motor that produces 150 kilowatts and 417 Newton meters of torque. It sends all that power through a 6-speed automatic transmission, and of course, it's a 4x4. So you get 2 high, 4 low, and a rear locking differential. The greatest thing about this Triton is its Super Select mode, which allows you to drive this Triton in all-wheel drive all the time, which is really convenient and safe. The engine itself, look, it might not be the most powerful in its segment, but it's still punchy enough, as you'll see later on when you're doing day-to-day driving. Right, the front end of the Triton. This Triton has a very uncanny resemblance to a European SUV. I want you to guess. I'll wait for you guys. Have you guessed yet? Nope. BMW X7. Can you unsee that now? No, you can't. It looks like an X7. Like it just, with the split headlights and the whole front end, it honestly shares a very distinctively similar design to the X7, and I cannot unsee that. However, it actually suits a Ute, unlike it does suit an SUV. Nonetheless, I really do appreciate the design of this Triton. I like the new boxy shape. I do like this graphite gray front grille, which is not gloss black like the GSR, so it's a bit different. You also get split front headlights. Unfortunately, they're part LED, part halogen, which is a bit of a shame because that's a bit outdated, guys. Halogen, come on, Mitsubishi, why not do complete LED? But I really do appreciate this burnt orange paint, and the paint itself, guys, unlike most of the competition where they charge you an exorbitant amount of money for different color options, Mitsubishi don't do that. It's only a couple of $100s. Moving down the side, you get gloss black 18-inch alloy wheels wrapped in all-terrain tires. Gone are the flared wheel arches that you see on the GSR, finished off in gloss black, but you still do get the gloss black door mirrors, roof rails, and door handles. You also get a very sturdy plastic side step, which is refreshing because most Utes in this segment have very nasty and cheap side steps that honestly just feel crap. You also get a steel sports bar with Mitsubishi cut out of it, which is really nice. And to be fair, I prefer that over the gloss black sailplane that you see on the top spec GSR. Let me know, guys, in the comments what you prefer. Do you prefer that, or do you prefer the gloss black sailplane? In terms of its ground clearance, well, you have 228 millimeters of ground clearance, an approach angle of 30 degrees, and a departure angle of 22.8 degrees. Coming to the rear of the Triton, you've got Triton down here, you've got the GSR badging there, and you've also got a brake light that's integrated into the rear tailgate, which is really nice because when you fit a canopy, you don't have to relocate that brake light from up there to down here, and I do like how they've done that. It means they're thinking about tradies when they've done this. But what they haven't thought about is this. So on this model, it has the dampened tailgate, but that's an option, like the tonneau cover, because if you just buy this as it is, those don't come standard, nor is there a torsion beam. Why, guys? Like, it's a $63,000 Ute, and it doesn't come with that. I know a $35,000 Ute that comes with a torsion beam and a soft damper as standard. And Utes in this segment come with a roller shutter tonneau cover. Like, what's going on? And as well as the headlights at the rear a part LED and halogen as well. Bit of a shame. So, what's it like in the tray? Well, you have a plastic bed liner, you have a width of 1,545 millimeters, a tub length of 1,555 millimeters, a payload of just over 1,000 kilos, and a brake towing capacity of 3.5 tons. Right, I usually do the fuel consumption while I'm driving the car, but I wanted to show you guys this because I honestly think it's the biggest fueler flap that I've ever seen fitted to any car. Like, what? It's huge. This is so uncalled for. That is ridiculous. Right, so your fuel consumption. Look, you can expect around about, say, just over 8 liters per 100 Ks, which is pretty decent for a Ute. Honestly, I think the Triton, out of all the Utes I've tested, is probably one of the best when it comes to fuel consumption. I was averaging around about 8.8 liters, about 9 liters per 100 Ks on daily driving, which is sensational. All right, the interior of the Triton GSR Special Edition. Well, let me be honest, guys, this is a drastic improvement over the previous generation because the previous generation, let's be honest, felt outdated. This, on the other hand, feels very period correct and shares a lot of its design with the Mitsubishi Outlander, which is not a bad thing because that is a fantastic SUV. So that means parts of the interior are finished off in hard plastic, which is a good thing because it will last the test of time. And there are soft touch materials where you'd expect it to be, where you're leaning most of the time, finished off in leather with orange stitching to make this special edition feel that little bit more special. Now, the seats themselves, now they are finished off in leather. Now, while they are pretty comfortable, they do lack under thigh support, which is a bit of a shame. I feel like what happened is whoever was designing the seat went on a lunch break and completely disregarded the seat and was just like, that's it, it's done. Doesn't make any sense. Nonetheless, at least the driver's seat is electronically adjustable, but the passenger seat, however, is not. Now, in terms of tech, you get a 9-inch infotainment screen that's very clear, crisp, and works very well. Has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It has physical knobs and buttons, which is really nice and refreshing. Then the driver's display. Now you have 2 analog dials with a little digital driver's display in the middle that shows all your driver data. Then you've got a leather steering wheel with orange stitching, which is really nice. And then coming down to here, you've got dual climate controls with heated seat options for both outboard seats. Now, again, there are physical toggle switches themselves, buttons and knobs throughout the design of this Triton. Now, I cannot stress this enough. I love this. And the reason for that is, majority of the people who are going to buy this car are going to be tradies. Now, most of the time, they're either going to have gloves on, or in certain cases, unfortunately, they might even burn the tips of their fingers off at certain jobs. And having haptic feedback buttons don't make any sense whatsoever. So I do really appreciate these ergonomic buttons. And then coming down to the middle console here, you have a physical gear stick, thank you Mitsubishi, and a physical handbrake. Then you've got all your 4x4 options here on a swivel wheel, and then your drive modes. Now, drive modes themselves, you'd expect in this day and age to have sport and etc., but unfortunately with this Triton, you only have normal and eco. It's a bit of a shame. What is good is that you do have a wireless phone charger, USB-A, USB-C connectivity down here, 12-volt socket, decent cup holders for your big coffee cups, a decent center glove box for storage, huge door bins for your big water bottles, cup holders integrated into the dash just below the air vents, sunglass holder, split glove box with plenty of storage. And that's about it, guys. Let's jump into the rear and see what that's like for your passengers. The second row. Well, you have plenty of knee room, plenty of headroom. You can kind of stretch your toes out underneath the seat in front, but not really. But it's not that bad. It's pretty comfortable back here. You got pockets on the back of the seats. You got pockets up high here so you can fit Bluey books or an iPad to keep the kids occupied. You got big door bins. And in terms of fitting the baby seat, well, you have ISOFIX anchor points on both outboard seats, but unfortunately, only one top tether point located at the top of the middle seat, which is a bit of a shame. And the doors don't really open that wide, making fitting the baby seat quite hard. Nonetheless, you've got a USB-C port down here, a USB-A port, a 12-volt socket, and you've also got air vents in the ceiling, which is honestly better than having them down there because you get cold air to the face and not to the knees. I do like that Mitsubishi. But the biggest problem with this rear seat is the fact that the base does not fold up, creating a hassle when the weather turns bad, your tub's full, you can't really store things in the back here because the only option you have is to slightly fold the top part of the seat forward. Why? Other than that, guys, let's take this Mitsubishi Triton for a test drive and see what it's like out on the road day to day. All right, so what's this Triton like to live with on a day-to-day basis? Now, before we get into that, guys, I do want to apologize to all of you that unfortunately we are unable to test this off-road. Sorry about that. But let's get into what's it like to live with. Well, to be fair, honestly, around town, it's quite pleasant and quite easy. For example, your visibility is great. There's nothing really obstructing it. You've got front and rear sensors. You've got a 360-degree camera, which really helps with the size of the Ute, which is, look, to be fair, it's not the biggest thing in the world, but having those makes it really easy to live with. And then there's the suspension. Like, honestly, if you're just doing day-to-day driving and around town, the suspension is really good. It's nice, it's comfortable, and it's soft. In terms of the fuel consumption, I already said that previously to you guys to show you that massive fueler flap. It's honestly fantastic. Like, to be fair, Mitsubishi claimed 8 liters per 100 Ks, and this thing wasn't getting that far from it. I was getting around 8.8 to 9. Like, that is incredible. Then there are the safety features. Now, every modern car must come with all these safety features to get a 5-star NCAP rating. And I understand that, I do. But they are becoming more of an inconvenience than an asset to help you drive better and to have a better experience on the road. For example, the driver monitoring system on this car does not stop beeping at you. No matter, even if you're looking at the road, it will just constantly beep at you. So I just turn it off. And then there's the stop-start function. The stop-start function, honestly, feels like when you get to a set of lights, the car dies. It shutters to a complete stop violently. And then when it decides to turn back on again, it literally takes forever. And then when it does, it comes back to life like it's been hit with a defib. It's like, oh, I'm alive now. It's so frustrating. But besides that, this Triton is a testament to the brand improving on the previous generation. This engine is great. It's a lot torquier, lower down than the previous gen. There's a lot more power, and you can really feel that. It's a lot more refined. It's quiet in the cabin. You don't hear much road noise. And when you need to get out of a sticky situation, you put your foot down, there's enough power to do so. But be aware, it is down on power compared to the competitors in this segment. The steering's light, to be fair, too light on my liking, but it's not the worst thing in the world, and the brake feels pretty decent. So if you're buying a Ute that is predominantly going to be used around town and you're not using it for long distances, nor are you going off-road that often, this Triton might be the Ute for you. But if you're looking at something a bit more set up for everything, then maybe it's not, which kind of defeats the purpose of a Ute in the first place, doesn't it? Right, so what's my final verdict on this 2025 Mitsubishi Triton GSR Special Edition? Well, unfortunately, guys, as sad as it sounds, I have to say it has fallen short and it's lost its edge. Yes, I don't want to say that. If you asked me 5 years ago what I thought about the Triton, I would say, yes, that is the Ute for you. For affordability, dependability, and reliability, buy a Triton. But with the price increase with this generation, even though they have tried to reduce the cost on this special edition, it's just not enough. Considering that the affordable segment has been taken over by the Chinese with the GWM, the LDV, and all the array of Chinese Utes to come into our market, which are well equipped, have a lot of standard features, and have heaps of tech, the Triton no longer sits there with its new price tag. So where does it sit now? It's getting awfully close to the top contenders like the Hilux, the D-Max, the Ranger, and the BT50, which makes making the decision really, really hard because those top tier Utes come with a lot of standard features, heaps of tech, and are renowned for their ruggedness. I'm not saying the Triton's bad, like I said, but it's now in no man's land. It's no longer affordable and it's no longer desirable. unless you are obviously a Triton fan, then yes, it is a massive improvement over the previous generation. But if you were to ask me, I want to buy a Ute that is dependable, reliable, and awfully cheap. It's no longer the Triton. And that makes it really sad because I really do love the Triton. And now, why would you buy one? It's hard. It's a hard decision. And I'm sorry, it just is what it is.